Hi guys, today's video is all about the 5 love languages, which is a book that was written by Chapman. This is what the book looks like. And it's a really good tool to have in a relationship, learning to speak your partner's language of love. Now, part of what's in the book is his belief is that we all carry a love tank around, and when we first meet and fall in love, we kind of have tunnel vision and everything is intense and exciting, and so our love tank is overflowing. And then over time, and as you start stepping into mature love, you can't have that tunnel vision, which is okay. There's nothing wrong with that. But you have to speak your partner's love language to continue to have their love tank feel full. Because when we go from tunnel vision to focusing on job or kids or family or anything outside of the relationship, it does take our attention. And so it's important to learn how to speak your partner's love language so you can turn back to the relationship and connect to one another and learn how to communicate and express love so you come back and reunite and reconnect, as opposed to creating distance and misinterpretation and miscommunication. So what are the 5 love languages? The 5 love languages are quality time, words of affirmation, acts of service, physical touch, and gifts. And so in a relationship, we usually have one that we prefer over the other 4. And sometimes we can be bilingual. But he actually has a test that's in the book where he has you answer the questions, and based on the questions, you know what your love language is. And so once you identify what your love language is, then you can go to your partner and say, for example, my love language is words of appreciation. And words of appreciation are compliments or words of appreciation or affirmations. It's encouraging words, anything that we can do that really uplifts our partner or makes us feel encouraged. Kind words, the ways in which we speak to one another. So giving some examples. So if, my love language was words of affirmation, I would say things like, I would really appreciate it if, you point out times that you feel appreciated, or, if I'm having a really hard day, you give me some encouraging words or kind words or show me empathy. So that would be a way that I would communicate to my partner that I needed him to really say, hey, one way that makes me feel most loved is when you speak those words of appreciation or affirmations. The next, quality time, that's spending time together where you really focus on togetherness, on you two just spending, time together, quality conversations where you're giving your full attention to the other person, or quality activities when it's not about what you're doing, but who you're doing it with and why. So, if I want to go to the football game and my partner, he wants to go to the soccer game, we're gonna kind of negotiate. There are gonna be times where he goes to see football with me, and there are gonna be times that I'm gonna go see soccer with him. Gifts, receiving gifts as a symbol of love. If your love language is gifts, it doesn't mean that you're materialistic. It means that that the gift that you're receiving is a symbol of your partner's love. And it can also be gift of self. So when your partner is present with you in a time of crisis, that's gift of self. So that's a really important one too. Acts of service is doing anything for your partner that that they would appreciate. Dishes, laundry, going to the grocery store. So if my love language was acts of service, so my partner said, hey, I'm gonna go do the grocery shopping this week, and let me know what you want for dinner, then that would be something, that's his gift, or that's his act of service to me. That's the way that he's speaking my love language. And then the last one is physical touch. Anything that you can do that's sharing either sexual or non-sexual affection or touch with your partner. Hand holding, hugging, kissing, sex, cuddling on the couch when you're watching TV together. Those are all ways, or even if one of you is doing dishes and the person doing dishes, their love language is touch, then we know that if the partner comes and gives you a hug when you're doing the dishes, them communicating your love language. So, those are the 5. And when we're able to, first of all, figure out what our love language is, tell our partner what our love language is, and then start participating in our partner's love language, we are creating connections, we're creating understanding, we're cultivating intimacy with each other, and we're speaking love without having to say, I love you. I mean, that's important, but we're finding other ways to stay connected to one another. So, I would encourage you to get the book, The 5 Love Languages, and really start to figure out what's yours and what's your partner's love language, and how to start participating in those love languages. Until you get the book, if you want to ask yourself some questions, what does my partner do that makes me feel most loved? And typically what your partner does that makes you feel most loved is your love language. So that's just one question, but that's a question to ask until you can go out and grab the book. But it's also a good opener to start talking to your partner about what are the things that your partner does that does make you feel most loved in the relationship, besides just saying, I love you. All right, the one other thing that I want to say about the 5 love languages, and Chapman talks about in his book, love is a choice. And so what he talks about is, in what ways do we wake up and choose to love our spouse or partner today? And when we're in mature love and that tunnel vision, we don't have that tunnel vision anymore, we do have to make it intentional sometimes. Or if there's times when maybe you've had a fight, you still need to speak love to each other. And so you have to wake up and say, in what ways do I choose to love my spouse? And if I know my partner's love language, then I can have some idea of how to turn towards him and start connecting. So I think those things are important. Those are things that are important to consider. The other thing I want to say about Chapman, he also has a book of the 5 love languages for your kids. So if you do have kids, that's another great book to read, and to get to know your kids even better, learn what their love language is as well. All right. So comment below and let me know what your what your love language is, and how you're speaking love either to your spouse or your partner, or if you get the kids book, what your kids' love language is and how you're speaking love to them as well. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel for weekly updates all about relationships. Have a beautiful day.